Hi everyone, my name is Hussan. I organize what's known as Illegal Toronto. I want to acknowledge the Mississaugas of New Credit. Sorry, one second. Is this better? Okay. I want to acknowledge the Mississaugas of New Credit territory that we're on, the Haudenosaunee territory that we're on, the territory of the Wendat peoples that we're on. In the spirit of the Truro, I want to first speak to the Indigenous people gathered here. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for 500 years of resilience. I want to thank you for the memories that you have kept. That in spite of the theft of land and culture, in spite of the attacks on communities, on languages, in spite of people being forced off their homes, off their communities and into reservations, that the Indigenous peoples of these lands have survived. And have survived, have grown, and have actually shown us the way. That we in our communities, the social movements that we belong to as non-Indigenous people could not do anything were it not for 500 years of survival. That the warriors that have walked before us have paved the paths on which we walk. And I want to thank you for that. I want to turn to people on my side of the Truro. I want to speak to those of us that are settlers, those of us that are migrants. And I want us to remind ourselves that for many of us, colonization was once the tread of a boot that beat down on our families. And that for many of us, even though we may have prospered because of colonization, our families have been destroyed because of it. Our communities have broken down because of it. I want to remind us that capitalism, corporate profit, has turned us into people who have no standing but the next coffee. And our freedoms are limited to what size of something we can buy, and nothing that actually maintains and controls and determines the kind of futures we want to live in. And I want us to remember that for some of us, not me, but for many of us, these governments were things we elected into. And that these corporations are those that we constantly trade with. And in the spirit of the seventh fire prophecy, and in the spirit of the words that have come before us, I want to talk to us about unity. I want to talk to us about the necessity to gather together. Because we have been told, we have been given direction as a community of Indigenous people and of non-Indigenous allies, that this is going to be a long, hard summer. And that this summer there's going to be direct actions taking place across these lands, and we are beginning that again today. And we've been told, Wanda just said that this is 500 years of patience. So we know that we are not marking any indefinitely new paths. And we heard from Pauline, and we heard from the speaker before talking about the struggles in the 70s and the 80s, but then this is our time. And let us make it clear. Let us make it clear to Harper and to the Liberals and to the NDP and to all the corporations that support them, that we will continue the lessons that those that have come before us have done, so that we can do so for the generations that follow. And yesterday I was in Hamilton, just outside Hamilton at Westover, where the tar sands pipeline, line 9, is being built, and a reversal station is being built. And 6 people went in there and put their bodies on the line, and they stopped that construction. And that construction is still stopped. And there might not be petitions that need to be filled out for it. They might not need, we don't need to necessarily wait. We can create the kind of future we want, and we have to create the kind of future we want in the now. And we've been told that this is about Bill C-45. This is about inherent Aboriginal and treaty rights. This is about free, prior and informed consent. This is about Indigenous women. This is about a missing and murdered women's inquiry. And this is about ensuring that the voices of Indigenous people set the direction of the future of these lands. And that is what we must do. Thank you.
Yo,